It was such a joy to hear about everyone's business, actually. So that was really good. I truly believe that the BACD is a little slice of heaven on earth. I don't know what I would be doing one day. It's probably the third best thing that's happened in my life, apart from getting married and the birth of my first child. Technically, this is my first child. This is my business, but real first child. So yeah, I have a few thought-provoking questions I want to ask you guys. First of all, why should I hire you or buy your product? Do you understand how to solve my problem? Am I paying for a fair deal here? How are you different than your competitors? What happens if things go wrong? Do you have a backup plan? Are you reliable enough to meet deadlines without excuses? How do you stay ahead of trends that could make your solution obsolete? Those are some things to think about, and I actually want to skip right ahead all the way to, there's a little preview of everything, to this, because if there's anything that I want you to take home today, it's this concept, Japanese concept of ikigai. And if you can accomplish, doing what you love, what the world needs, you can get paid for it, and you're good at it, I think you're sitting really well in your life. And I think that as a photographer, videographer, media company owner, I enjoy what I do. I wasn't good at it in the beginning, but I got good. I get paid for it, and the world does need it most of the time. I give my time, volunteer to the Pickering Ajax Hospital when they were doing their fundraising. So you can give back a bit. That's an amazing thing to do. This is just so important, ikigai. If you can get that hands down, I think you're sitting really well in life. So yeah, my name is Pascal. Actually been in business for 13 years. I round up to the closest 5. So a little bit about me. In 2012, I did Summer Company. I actually was telling Teresa and Patrice that when I submitted my business plan, it was for a moving company. The only thing I had thought of was make money, right? Okay, people need moving trucks and companies. And then I literally submitted it, and then epiphany happened, and I was like, I don't want to do that. Not knocking moving companies. It's a great exercise, and we get paid for it, and it brings joy to people, and it's something people can be passionate about, but it wasn't for me. And then I submitted a whole new business plan, 10 pages or something, overnight, and said, disregard my first business plan, I want to actually do this. In 2014, I expanded my business to start offering drones. Very early on in offering drones as a service. And we'll talk a little bit about that too. What niche do you offer? Can you offer a niche at all? And if you can, there's a huge opportunity for you. So, my first drone was like this big. Now I fly a drone like this big, but it's like 10 times more capable. So technology is getting pretty amazing and crazy. But even to this day, like capturing real estate with the drone, little kids will run by and they want to see it take off, and it's so much fun. So super fun. Love starter company. Opened up a studio space. By the way, I'm called Blue Phoenix Studios. And we opened up a studio space. If you can somehow make your competitors your clients, then you're playing 4D chess. But beyond just doing that too, is the Durham region needed a lower cost entry-level space for photographers to create. And it's always nice to see competitors come in and they create, and then they're off, and then we'll talk behind their back. So if you can somehow, I'll use the example of grass cutting quite often, I think, because it's an easy analogy. But if you have a trailer or equipment you're not using, maybe rent it out. Set up your everything really proper, of course. But maybe if you have equipment sitting around, there's a good revenue stream that you can be building. And so I do that with my older and unused equipment, and so it kind of keeps the bottom line up higher, right, as opposed to just collecting dust. And to this day, my media company is now 9 people. Oopsies, what did I do? Here we go. 9 people strong. This is my lovely team. There's 1 person missing. We also have about a dozen people external that work on an editing team. So really proud there, Sean, actually, full-time marketing director. When you guys get to my age, I don't know what the next generation is, but Gen Z, technically, you want to get someone in marketing who's younger than you, So Sean's doing great. He's killing it, full-time marketing director, and I'm really excited to. Don't start your own business, please. Just I'll pay you well, I promise. Yeah. So that's a little bit about me. Now, one thing I really think that you should keep in mind, and a lot of you guys have the opportunity for repeat business. I don't think any business doesn't have the opportunity for repeat business, even when it comes to weddings, photography, for instance. Repeat business, well, actually, does come from divorce, but let's not talk about that. Siblings and other family get married, and you get referred. So there's lots of repeat business. So this is a critical thing that you should keep in mind. And sorry, before I continue, I'm giving you real-world insights and things that I've learned that I wish I could tell myself from 13 and a half years ago. So first you get the sales inquiry. Sit down with them, listen to them, have that emotional intelligence to understand what they're trying to solve. And that goes even for products too. If they're doing a large order or if they have questions, every sale is important. So I think that it's very important to give the time to your customers. Sit down with them. At the end of the day, you want people to want to work with you. I think that's just so important I have a reputation of people wanting to work with me because I'll go above and beyond always in all four of these aspects. With a project agreement, this helps because if you're going to have a repeat customer, you've got all the basics down, and when they come back again, there's no surprises. Have your contracts if you want. A lot of my people, I don't really do contracts often. My work is my contract and doing a good job. Some people actually ask for contracts, so you kind of have to pivot depending on what people want. And I think that's important to be malleable to what the customer is looking for. You want to shift to being on their wavelength, right? And then that helps with them being happy with the transaction, whether it's a service or a product. And then third, customer service, more than just the work, right? So many times I'm going to a house. Things need to be moved around for real estate photography. I don't mind. Like, we're already in the situation. It's gotta get moved. I put on a happy face and I help people move it, and it gets me along my day quicker too. But a lot of my real estate agent clients really love that. They're like this is like I'm known as that. Like, oh, the sellers loved you so much. Thank you for representing my business for that day. So go beyond just doing the work. See how you can always be going above and beyond, right? And that goes with over-delivering within reason. Don't give them the moon, but do as best as you can. If someone told me you're only as good as your last work, don't have anxiety over that though. I think that try to strive to always make your last work your best work, and that's always a good work ethic, I think too. So always work, over-deliver, and this is how you have repeat business coming back and building that bottom line. Before you know it, you've got a team of 9 breaking at the rims. So let's talk about tips for growth as well. All of you, I think this is incredibly relevant, whatever stage you're in. I'm always continuing to grow too. If you're not growing, you're dying, or you're stalemate, which is unlikely. But you always want to be growing. And so these are some tips, especially at the point where you're at right now with your business. Find your niche, if you have a niche. I love the teas. I'm going to probably look at your business. I need to switch out of coffee a bit and drink a little bit more tea, personally. I also love the fact that you guys do car detailing. Is there something that can be offered, like for with the onslaught of more electric vehicles? Is there you don't have to clean the engine, so is there can you clean the frunk or something, right? Like what's like an interesting niche that you can offer? And with me it was drones, right? So I offer drones and became an advanced drone licensed pilot, and I do work for multiple economic development offices actually throughout the Durham region, Ajax, Whitby, Oshawa, Clarington, and it's a ton of fun. So find your niche and become the expert at that niche if you can. From Blue Phoenix Studios, mostly doing business promos. I don't do weddings anymore. I'd rather spend time with my daughter on weekends. I did so many real estate listings that I had to create a whole separate supplement. We call it Castle Real Estate Marketing, and that's our bread and butter. That's where a lot of the repeat business is coming from. So if you find a niche, try your best to really have people come to you. If that's you can start general, whatever. But I think if you find a niche, business comes to you more than saying you do it all. you know, like if you do pest control and I'll clean your toilet at the same time, something's wrong. Network relentlessly. You're a walking business card. Always have your best face forward. You never know who you're going to talk to. Have good driving habits on the road. You never know which clients are driving by. And you know, I think you always look for opportunities. So go to expos. My opportunity with going to an expo is I can bring a camera and take photos or create a short video for everyone at expo is looking to get more business, because anyone in a newspaper is looking to get more business. So if you can offer them something, you know, free video, in my case, then they're super happy, and then people like that have actually become clients. So find a way that you can get your foot in the door and, you know, to network relentlessly, right? Adapt or die, essentially. Adapt or fade. And actually, I love what grass cutting, Matthew, right? How, or maybe it was another grass cutter, sorry. But there was someone who, it's a very high heat wave right now, so what else are you offering? There's no grass cutting. Really, not really. My grass cutters haven't showed up. They do bi-weekly now, and I don't know if they've been here for a few weeks, actually. And, you know, it's like, what else can you offer, right? So you got to adapt. When COVID hit, I was doing any real estate, and pretty much lost like 80 to 90% of our business. Actually, we lost. We were managing a lot of marketing spend, social media marketing money, and the first thing to go, unfortunately, in a pandemic is marketing budgets. So we pivoted, and real estate's essential. People need to buy homes, see homes. It's a huge part of our Canadian economy. People are still transacting and moving, and so we had to pivot. And thank God for my wife for suggesting that. Who's also my business partner. So adapt if you have to. Be ready to pivot in your industry. Have a backup plan. Ask for feedback. I lost a job to the Whitby Economic Development Office a few years ago, and I asked them why, and they said, well, because the other company had more of a team atmosphere. So I made it my goal to grow a team. Right, and now I do work for them, actually. They hired me. So those are just some tips for growth. R&D, I think, is huge too. Every business, you know, you're coming up with new flavors. Keep your following base excited about, we're launching this new one, 50% off, right? This is a man-made t-shirt. I always buy their stuff. It's so simple and cheap. Whenever the new product comes out, I buy it. So stay on top of the latest trends in your industry, especially with the onslaught of AI kind of upending everything a little bit. It's affecting my business a bit, but actually for the better. We're using it now as a source to make our job easier. So try and see what AI and other things in the future coming out, VR, may be able to make your job easier, whether it's administrative or the actual work itself. And what are your competitors doing? You know, be friendly with competitors. Give them a follow, chit chat, comment on their stuff. Imitation is flattery. Don't copy them outright, but take inspiration from them and then make it better or make it unique to you. Like, how do you stand out, right? And of course, how are you unique? So, you know, like, what's your calling card? Like, how do people know that Pascal photographed this, right? Well, maybe not that much, but you know, if you can get that, that's money. So there's Ikigai again, and I just want you guys to really absorb this. I think it's just so important. This is how you can find meaning in life. Thank God to the BACD, seriously. And if you can get all of this, you're good to go. You live a good life. I do want to open it up to like questions and stuff too. I think that I kind of fly through it pretty quickly, but I'd love to chat. Like, I'd like to spend a bit of time talking about what to do, and hopefully you guys retain at least a few things. But any questions you guys had? Yeah. How did I find my niche? I think that's related to a little bit about the same thing with Ikigai, right? I love drones. I love playing video games. My mom told me, stop playing video games, you're never going to amount to anything. How wrong she was, because now playing video games is easier flying a drone. And if you can, I think everything comes back to that, really, truly. Can you get paid for it? You can't get paid for everything. So, you know, finding a niche, I think, is related to those four things. And if you can somehow, it's something that the world needs, you can get paid for it, you're good at it. You know, so I think, yeah.
I want to just add something about Pascal's story, because he was one of our first when we started out the startup company class. Drones was such a new concept and industry, they were still writing rules and regulations for it. That's how much I think you led to that too. Be aware of opportunity. So that adaptability is being ready to pivot, being ready to lean into an opportunity. So I just want to highlight that because that was not an easy feat. They were still writing policy.
Yeah, it wasn't until 2019 was when
Yeah.
they finally came out with solid requirements.
Yes.
You know, you have to put a sticker on your drone. You have to register. I'm an advanced pilot, which is actually incredibly hard to get. You have to, it's like driving lessons. You have to go meet with someone. The guy said, I've never seen someone more prepared. I was wearing a safety vest, thank God. It was great. But yeah, so it's intense, and be ready for like regulations and things that, what if something health-wise comes up, which is happening big time in the States, right? They're getting rid of all this stuff, which is bad for you. How can it affect grass cutting and et cetera, right? Rules and regulations. Yeah, great question. Thanks for bringing that up. Anything else? I'd love to answer questions. Don't be shy. Yeah.
How do you approach networking your business when it's more than just you now?
Yeah, that's a tough one because actually, when you eventually do add people to your team, and interior design is similar because there's a creative aspect to photography. They want you, right? So I've had to really, really emphasize the fact that the people I've hired are like me. I found my clones finally, right? And it's so hard to. There's a few of our clients that are like, I only want Pascal. Sometimes I get in trouble for not. But I can only be in one place at once, literally. But so in the hiring process, if you find amazing people, never let them go. Try your best to keep them together. And then marketing-wise, have those people talk on camera on your Instagram, not just you. Share the load with marketing, with the branding awareness. Make them look like they're just as an expert as you, because hopefully they are. Maybe not. Maybe you know everything absolutely. But if even someone just knows something 93%, that's good enough. They can have their spot to help in your business. And I think that that's a really hard thing that I'm going to always be navigating. Is people want me, but then then that, and then also or you can have our junior guy, right?
Yeah.
So yes.
What's some of the biggest challenges that you deal with on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, scheduling. Actually, my wife plays jigsaw all day, 4D chess. One thing moves. Whoa, it's like Tetris. It's crazy. So scheduling is hard. It's particular in my industry though. And then we were really worried about AI, big time. I think that it's amazing we have these supercomputers in our pockets now to do a lot of the things that I could have done for you 10 years ago. But eventually it's going to literally probably replace most of what I do. Which is why I also am a registered as a real estate agent now, just in case. But I don't think we'll be completely replaced. Like still people don't, you're kind of born with a certain ability, an eye for creativity or a passion for delivering a taste or offering a service. And you gotta really put your boots on the ground and emphasize that benefit that you can offer people and let that be your guiding light into how people portray you.
Firstly, thank you for the presentation, Mr. Duke. I have two questions, one for you and one for both of you, you and one for you. The first one is you said you use AI in your everyday tasks. So will you tell us how can we use it for our businesses, although it's very vague?
Yeah, totally.
Second one, can I ask
Oh yes.
you?
Yes, of course.
The second one is for both of you. Any marketing tips for our businesses, something that we should be aware of, we should be working on?
I'll let Sean. Do you want a minute to think? I'll answer the first question. So AI can help you guys in a number of things, whether it's, first of all, the easiest thing is use AI to ask for ideas on give me a content calendar creation for the month of April or something, right? And then AI is incredibly smart. And you can also feed it other suggestions. You can literally give it everything that you do, and it will come out with pretty decent suggestions. But then it's not the end-all solution either. Adapt, use your own human brain to think, okay, this is a good suggestion, but I'm going to make it a little bit better. And then keep prompting it with other suggestions, right? I can't give you an exact idea, but let's say come up with a promo for grass cutting, or I'm launching a new tea flavor. What would be the best way to divvy up my energy and resources to market this, and like give me mostly like verbiage too. I think like help me word this the correct way. I use a bit of AI with my slide deck. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a huge screener. With a little bit of wording, I'm a very like active mind, and I need to like condense it a lot, right? So there's some things. Yes.
Can I add to this? I like to say that I use AI as one of my junior colleagues. So I will kind of give it a task. I'll give them a high level what I'm looking for. I'll give them a task, break it all down, and then I can kind of take that and revise it to my own, kind of put my own authentic spin on it. But it's great for taking a newsletter that I've written and breaking it down into 5 different pieces of content, or saying this is the customer that I have who's inquiring. How can I really tend to their needs and kind of make sure that I'm hitting all the points when I have my consultation with them? So I kind of use them as a sounding board or a junior colleague to either give them a task or ask it a high-level question to brainstorm instead of just sitting in my office for hours by myself, trying to do it myself and going crazy.
Yeah. 100%.
Sorry.
Good. No, that was beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, no, really good. Any suggestions for marketing?
Yeah, so to piggyback off that, when you're using AI, it's important to remember that it's not like the end all, but it's a tool, right? So you want to make sure you're using it in its capabilities. So for example, let's say instead of scrolling through TikTok or Instagram looking for the latest trends, you can ask AI, what is the latest trends in the past week, right? And it'll usually give you pretty good answers, and then you can cross-reference the trends it gives you by actually searching it on TikTok and Instagram without following it blindly.
Yeah.
And then you can take it a step further and say, this is my business, this is what I do, this is my target audience. How can you make this trend work for my company?
Yeah.
And then you can take that and make ideas with it.
Do you guys want to know the literally best piece of social media advice you'll ever hear that you'll never hear from anyone else? Be social on social media.
Yes.
Engage on other comments. Don't just say fire emoji. Do it like a
Just say minimum 5 words in a response.
Yes. If someone posts something, engage with it. Say, wow, that's so beautiful, blah, blah, blah. I take it a step ahead where I'm like, whoa, or I do like a negative word that's like, oh my god, or something to really catch their attention, hook them into like, honestly, this is the best tea ever, right, or something. And so like that's how you can really make them reply and now you're on their map, you're on their radar, right? So engage in social media. My wife commented on a post for a dental clinic, and it's turned into essentially 6 digits over the years.
Wow.
Just from a harmless, something took 5 seconds to comment on something.
You can also ask AI, give me ideas of what I could use to engage on my posts, and it comes up with really good ideas.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. Yep.
You can also clear up some of your ideas too. So if you have a bunch of things and you just need to brain dump it, and it's actually clear to a point where you're like, oh, I never even thought about that. The other piece is outside of social, also think about going to networking and collaborating, meeting with other people. Like I've heard of all these businesses, so many of you can work together and even take business from each other or even add business to each other. So using AI might even put connections of industries that you haven't thought of.
Yeah.
So there are ways I can do something with them and we can do something together.
Yes. Collaborate on things.
That's kind of one of the, I think networking is one of the next, after social, is the next new thing that people are missing. Like, go meet people, go talk to them.
Yes.
Figure out how you can work together or maybe you can do business.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. You're absolutely right. Yeah. It's a lot of fun, guys. Any questions?
So this is something that I'm struggling with. So as I'm starting this, I know it's not just to you. There's like many great entrepreneurs in the room. So something I'm struggling with recently is that I started a company and there's also a lot of things on my mind that I'm constantly thinking about. Like, oh, I can do this to improve. Like, there's so many things that on my mind that I could just do a lot better. And I kind of don't have time to think about like anything else or like personal life, friends.
I hear you.
So how do you find like a balance point
Yep.
between that?
So there's noise and there's signal.
Oh yeah, I just.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad.
I'm a board.
Yeah. So, take your top 10 things that are your signal that like are big things. Choose 3. leave out the noise. And I know that noise needs to get done, but you get your signal done, and then you accomplish something. And then you can introduce the noise back in, live a life, relax, play a video game, go out with your friends. But you did 3 things on your signal list, right? Or even 1. Doesn't matter.
Can I ask that?
Yeah.
I had something very similar at the beginning of the year, and I ended up meeting with a business coach, actually somebody that the BACD had during do it in Durham. I met with him, and he asked me what my day-to-day routine looked like as an entrepreneur, and I kind of like brain dumped, word vomit, and he's like, great, so you hired yourself as an intern, and you don't get paid, right? Like, so I'm like, oh, interesting. So it was all about, at the end of that meeting, it was all about breaking down my day into a CEO task, senior designer, junior designer even, intern, right? So it was so funny when somebody described that to me to say, wow, you have your intern task because I'm just trying to like do everything, right? I'm getting myself coffee, right? So breaking it down and kind of seeing high level and then flowing down from there, that helped me huge.
Yes. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? Helpful? I think it's hard, you know?
Yeah. So for the signal list, I have it like literally word for dollar, and I just write signal noise.
Wicked.
I put 3 things in the morning there, but I just keep adding more stuff. Like I finish it, and then I was like, wait, I can do that
Yeah.
too. So I just
Awesome.
add to like 5 to 7.
Nice. That's good. Yeah,
the
and
day
you
is
gotta
long.
choose. Yeah, it's hard to like do it all, right? I know it's hard. Don't beat yourself up. I think there's 2 things. If you guys don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, Gary Vee, please check him out. He is so motivational. It's great to listen to him if you're on the train, bus, or driving. It's great. Add some kind of inspirational someone who's a successful business owner. He said one time, you know, speed is success, but patience makes permanent. So you need to, you need to have both of those personalities. Try and do as much as you can. Don't lose sleep over it though, because tomorrow's a new day. Right?
That's a great thing though.
Absolutely.
Because
No,
I'll be
you have
honest,
to.
like with
You need to.
entrepreneurs, the joy of it is
Yes.
that we can wake up at 10.
Yeah.
Or we can work, we can do things. So at the end of the day,
Yes.
you schedule your 3 key things.
Yes.
Schedule in some fun. Go
Yeah.
for a walk. Schedule in the fun so that
Yeah.
you're still getting that accomplished.
Honestly, working too much is actually a hindrance, I think,
Yeah.
because I used to film like 2 weddings a day. Lots of South Asian weddings actually. So it would be like Sikh weddings, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then I'd go shoot a reception event because it's different days. So I would literally work 6 a.m. to midnight and then do it the next day. And then there's also events during the week. And what I failed to realize then was I was overworking and not working on, advancing my business and other things. So you can overwork. Don't work too much. And, there's a funny saying, you leave the 9 to 5 to work 24/7, but you don't need to make that true.
And always remember, you control your time, you control your calendar, and what you control. Stefan?
A lot of great concepts here in terms of scheduling. I think it's really important to remember that if you plan everything, you will be better equipped each day to do what is important. You won't get caught up in the moment. The longer term you can think about it, use a calendar for promotions, planning, content, all of those things, and they'll integrate together and make your life a lot easier. It doesn't sound sexy and fun at the beginning, but when you sit back and look at it, it's really going to pay you huge dividends. It'll save you money in advertising and marketing because you're organized.
All right, so
Thanks,
round of applause for Mike.